in the book of 1 Samuel, which we're just doing in Bible bits at the moment, so this really jumps out to me as we think about this. The people of Israel come to Samuel and they ask for a king. They ask for a king like the other nations around, a king like all the others. We want one like all the others have. And this whole issue of kingship is here in Judges. I think what Judges is doing is kind of doing what Samuel does in the book of Samuel. He says, no, look, well, for a start, the Lord is your king. And secondly, and this is the kind of the subplot of, or not easily in the subplot, it's a big message of Judges, is that the kings of the nations around you, it's not good news. It's not going to be good news to have a king like the nations around you. And that's what we see in the leaders that Israel have in the book of Judges. So Gideon, who he is not a king, but he calls his son that he has through concubine Abimelech, my dad is king, and leads the nation into idolatry. And Abimelech is murderous and domineering, and in the parable that Jotham says, he's described as a king. So there's a kingly rule, but it's pretty oppressive and awful. There's Jair, who has 30 sons who ride 30 donkeys. I know they're not quite the Ferraris of our day, but that kind of status, who rule 30 towns. So there's a dynasty being built. Jephthah, it seems that he wanted to have a dynasty and was willing to sacrifice his family on the altar to get that. Then Ibzan in chapter 12, verse 8, 30 sons, 30 daughters, presumably not with one wife. If so, boy, was she quite a woman. So there's an indication of building greatness on the basis of sexual immorality. Abdon had 40 sons, 30 grandsons. Again, just that hint of not the biblical model of one man and one woman for life. They rode 70 donkeys. It's just this power, impressive, flashy kind of version of kingship. It's all about power and dynasty. And this is a nightmare, and this will be a nightmare for Israel. But then in the midst of all of these, there's a Tola and Elon, and we're told very little about them. And is that a hint? Is that a hint of humility? That actually that's what is needed. Are rulers who are not all about the flash and all about the show, but who are humble. Is this a little hinter that this is the kind of king that we need? One who will be like David. One will be like the son of David. One who will be like the one who came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. A king like no other.